I've been following the Fae for many years, and a lot of the red wizards, their tattoos do glow from time to time. They are heavily enchanted with magic. I hunted them for many years.
So why would his tattoos glow at that precise moment?
Because they're magical.
No, but at that time, though. It seems awfully convenient.
I don't know. Maybe he was trying to cast a spell, but that is the reason why. With the old laws of Daggerford, that is why his eyes and that is why his mouth was sewn shut, is so that he could not cast any spells. That's why his hands were bound, so he couldn't cast any magic. I'm sure he was probably trying, but he couldn't do it.
I wonder if there's still a way that he called the dragon.
Possible. He could have something to do. This could all be related, but I don't know. We need to try to put the pieces together of this mysterious puzzle that is unfolded before us here.
Now, were you thinking about having anybody go out and kind of track where these lizard folk came from?
I think that would actually be a good idea, and that's what Sir Istival tells you. And he says, he looks at all of you and he says, "Oh, you all remind me of a young Sir Istival many decades ago." He says, I would have asked the same exact question, but I cannot accompany you on this journey because my days of adventuring are long over, since I took the grievous wound from the red dragon that I had fought and slain. That was my last bit of adventuring. But if you want to take a peek or a gander out into the Lizard Marsh, feel free to. And in fact, I'll compensate. Why don't you guys get a good rest for tonight? We've had a very quick travel here to Cromshold. It seems like the guards are getting everything kind of squared away. And I'll see you in the morning. How about that? And it's late afternoon by this point. And the Baroness, she turns towards all of you and thanks you for staying here. And please to, if you want to help bury the soldiers and attend if you want to attend the funeral and the rites and stuff, you're more than welcome to. And especially seeing that you have an acolyte in your presence, maybe he can bless them with one final word before we lay them to rest. But you'll have plenty of food, drink. You'll have a warm fire. You'll have a nice warm bed, nice dry bed to sleep in tonight. And tomorrow morning we'll have a chat.
It sounds all right.
Rain walks up to Sir Istival and
yes, Rain.
Him the spoon.
And what is this spoon for?
Avenger. It's a gift.
Oh, I'm not.
I'm sorry, you're a crippled Avenger.
He just kind of chuckles. He says, "If you think I turned out bad, you should have seen the red dragon." And then he holds his two-handed sword. "I drove this all the way through its eye and killed it instantly. And then, of course, I had my share of his treasure." And then he kind of pats on his pack, which he actually has a bag. Let me actually show you what this thing looks like. This is what the bag looks like. This is what his bag looks like, a sack. And he said, "I've still got some of the treasure in here to this day. And I slew the dragon, the ancient red dragon, by myself. Some 25 years ago now." He just kind of shakes his head. And he said, "This is a nice little pouch that holds quite a bit of stuff. And I still have a lot of that left." He says, he kind of stretches a little bit. He says, "I'm going to go grab something to eat, something to drink. It's been a busy day, and I got to witness a red wizard hang. The day just doesn't get any better than that." And he says, I'll see you in the morning, my friends." And he, with his cane and his great sword, beautiful great sword, just kind of hobbles off towards the mainstay of the keep, and walks inside, and Baroness Crom follows him.
Did he take the spoon?
He did take the spoon. He just kind of put it into his bag and just shook his head and said, "Well, thank you, Rain." "What do you want me to do with that spoon, by the way?" he says as he's walking away.
It's pretty. Hold on to it.
"I will, thank you," as he strolls off. So what do you guys think? What do you think, adventurers?
I think we're going to have to go into the swamp and investigate a little bit more about these lizard men and maybe see what, if anything, if they have any ties to this black dragon.
And there are secrets from the wizards.
Yeah, Zero thinks that's a sound strategy.
All right.
Yeah, I agree.
Also, to find out where this swamp ass disease is coming from.
Swamp ass. Sorry, that's just the first thing that came to my mind. Because I used to suffer from swamp ass when I was a kid, out all the time and goofing around in forts and woods and digging holes. Oh yeah,
Just
I
when
had
you were a
swamp ass
kid?
all the time. Yeah, it was when I was a kid. Sometimes I'll still get a slight case of swamp ass once in a while, but not too often. I don't know why I said that, but you guys know what I'm talking about with swamp ass. Don't lie and say you don't. You guys do. Everybody knows what swamp ass is.
All right,
All right, so
like
do
to
you guys-
go over. Yeah,
Sure.
I'd like to go over and, see the corpses to where they're taken to prepare them for burial and give them the rites.
Sure. Yeah, there's a really nice piece of land that's outside of Cromsold, and that's where there's quite a few stone markers that are, protruding up from the earth with names and stuff on them of all of the soldiers that have lost their lives here at Cromsold. And one of the sergeant tells you that this is something that the Baroness has put together in her 20 years of being here. These are all the men that have died under her watch. And there's probably about 50 or so gravestones. But for the amount of attacks that have happened on Cromsold, they've actually done quite a nice job defending it. And like I said, it's the last line of defense, to Daggerford. So she's done a good job in the 25 years or so since she's been running the keep, running the hold. And you give last rites to all of the 6 soldiers that died, and their families start to show up from Daggerford, and so there's like a nice service, there's some festivities, and actually the rain stops for this, which is actually quite nice as the sun starts to go down over the horizon. So now there's more food, more beer being served, and what do you guys think? Is there anything you guys want to do as the moon is now in the nighttime sky? Pretty cool thing about Fantasy Ground. I like the ambient lighting inside of it. Pretty cool.
After getting something to eat and drink, I'm actually going to find one of the patrons that are in the same area and challenge them to a holding their breath contest.
Oh, he says, shouldn't this be done in Daggerford for the festivities? But he says, sure, I'll entertain your request.
How about we put a silver for it?
A silver? He says, how about I raise you up to a gold? He seems
okay.
pretty confident. All right.
It sounds good to me.
So all the other guards, the half-sloshed guards, they start to, gather around, and you guys start holding your breath. So why don't you give me a constitution check.
Air Genastis don't have to. They can hold their breath as long as they want.
I like that little bit of trickery. Let me do a history check on this guard. And I'm going to do it with disadvantage because he is quite intoxicated. So let me drop this into the tower to see if he would No, hell no. He takes you up on that gold offer, and he thinks, this big burly guard, he's got his shirt unbuttoned. You can see his piano wire chest hair. Looks like his chest is all oiled down. He's got a nice slick bald head, and he says, "Mate, I'm fixing to take your gold from you." And he says, "I'll even start 15 seconds ahead of time," as he, takes this. It's like a dragon intaking for a breath. And then he starts holding his breath, and he gives you 15 seconds. So why don't you go ahead and give me you don't even have to do the roll. But I'll go ahead and I'll do a Constitution saving throw. Well, Constitution check, I'm sorry.
After the 15 seconds, she just, like, real soft breath in.
Kind of toying him. He just looks at you and kind of smiles and winks. And then he slams the gold down on the table. And then one of the other guards takes your gold and his gold and holds it and says, "I'll give it to the winner." So after about 4 minutes or so goes by, all of a sudden this guy starts turning every color. Red, and then it goes to purple, then it goes to dark purple, and then you hear a and then he passes out. He just passes out. So the guard slams down the extra gold on the table for you, and he says, "Congratulations, that's the first time he's ever been beat." Very nice. So you can add another gold to your sheet. So what about Zero and Ander and Rain? What are you guys doing during the nighttime celebration? I guess it would be celebrating the fallen soldiers of the hold. All kinds of food, all kinds of it. There's like a fire pit with a huge boar that is roasting over the pit. All kinds of vegetables and all kinds of potatoes, cold potatoes, hot potatoes, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, everything. Really a good feast for tonight.
Zero
I
love.
eat until I nap. Eat and nap.
All right. You all get a room too, so Rain, you can go up to your room and pass out if you'd want to, or put the box down on the floor and crawl up in it and fall asleep that way. So what about Zero and Ander?
Zero's he's gonna eat some mashed potatoes because he loves mashed potatoes, but he keeps a little notebook, like tiny little notebook for notes, and he just goes over his maneuvers for his chest exercises, and then he turns in and goes to sleep.
All right. Ander?
Yeah, and after Andrew grabs a bite to eat, he's gonna hold off from any drinking tonight. And before he goes to bed, he set aside some time to perform his prayers.
Very nice. Yeah, and you actually had a pretty nice service for all of the fallen soldiers as well. And, Baroness Crom, she thanked you for it. She said she just doesn't have an acolyte here at the hold anymore. So after a good night's rest, you guys are, getting awake. You go down and have some breakfast, have something to drink. All kinds of muffins are being served, a bunch of different fruits, a bunch of light foods, nothing like the night before. And eventually you make it out to the courtyard, and it's very, very lightly raining. And Siristival, he greets you, and he says, "My friends, I'd like to ask a favor of all of you." He says, "I kind of thought about this last night, and while the Black Dragon is really, it's not any small threat at all, I really honestly think that the threat here and the danger at Cromsold is minimal now, especially with, the contingency of guard from Daggerford and the coordination of Baroness Crom getting everything back together. I think the defensive they've been bolstered enough, and I think we'll be okay. I'm going to keep the men from Daggerford here for probably a couple days, maybe no longer than a week or so. But in the meantime, you guys were talking about wanting to go out into the marsh, and I really think that we could use your help, being myself and Baroness Crom. But I do want to kind of talk to you guys about something else. And, he kind of lowers his voice a little bit and asks the sergeant to leave him alone with all of you. So, no problem at all. he goes off, the sergeant. And then he says, my friends, you guys know about the Floshin estate. You know, this, I have something that I haven't really discussed with anyone except for Duke Maldwin Daggerford. And I sent a messenger him throughout the night, and got word back early this morning. And one of the items that was taken from the Floshin estate was, guess what? Another one of these altars. It was an altar. And when Baroness Wynn, when she told me that she gave this black dragon named Thos this altar, all of a sudden it just came to me about Lord Floshin's estate and the altar that was taken from his estate. So this has to be related, my friends. There is no coincidence here. I did not say anything. I wasn't at liberty to discuss this yesterday because I had to run it past Duke Maldwin Daggerford first. But I've also talked to Baroness Wynn about this, and she is really regretting letting this altar go. You know, this altar was also stored at the Floshin estate for many years, and it was one of these stained glass altars also. These two events have got to be connected. I can't say that enough. So what I'd like for you to do, I would like for you to find this dragon's lair. If there is even a dragon's lair in the Lizard Marsh, it's probably going to be, I assume that it would be hidden somewhere. But I do want to warn you, you will encounter hostile lizard folk and much more in your travels. But if you can, and if you can find this dragon's lair, you really should avoid a confrontation with this dragon at all costs. My friends, you just are not ready for this yet. I know that you're experienced adventurers, but I can just tell that black dragons are vicious, they're cruel, and they're really notoriously difficult to reason with. And that's another thing that intrigues me, because why did that dragon want the altar? Who's in cahoots with this dragon? We need to find out. This dragon, if it's pissed off, this dragon could lay waste easily to Cromsold and Daggerford. So thankfully, Baroness Crom did the right thing. So we need to find this. We need to see if this altar is still in this dragon lair. I don't even know if there's a dragon lair, like I said. But if you guys would be interested in that, I would greatly appreciate it. And so would the area of Daggerford. So what do you think, my friends?
We could try to assist on trying to find these altars. I mean, it does seem like there's some kind of coincidence with both of them being taken.
Yeah,
Are there any more altars?
Yes, there are altars for all of the different gods. Yes, there definitely is. But as for where they're located, that I can't tell you.
Well, whoever has them better be watching out.
Once word of this dragon gets around, I'm sure word of mouth will probably make everyone a little bit more weary of any of these other glass altars that are around, if there's any more here in Daggerford.
Why would the Red Wizards want this too?
Well, I will tell you this. If you find the altar from the Floshin estate, it will be stained glass, much like the one Baroness Wynn Crom had described to you, and described to everyone for that matter. But it's stained glass, and it has cloud-like patterns and lightning bolts on this altar. And the one that was stolen from here, from Crom's Hold, had crashing waves. Now,
how large
yes.
is this? How large is the altar?
It's a couple feet. It's no longer than it would take several of you to carry it back to Crom's Hold or to Daggerford. It's no longer, it's on a couple of poles. It sits, and then you can pick it up and put it on any kind of. It has it has basically railings where you can put a pole in it and carry it for traveling purposes. But it was, like I said, the stained glass altar that has the cloud-like patterns, that is the one from the Flotian estate. And it's been there for years, and it was held by Lord Flotian's noble ancestors. So
there's probably at least an earth and fire one out there.
Mm-hmm. Well, a messenger comes up to Siristival and pulls Siristival aside for a little bit. And Siristival comes back to you and says, well, my friends, the altar has been found, and it's been broken open. And supposedly there was an elemental key inside of it. And this was the one that was stolen from the Flotian estate that had the cloud-like patterns and whatnot on it. There was a key. And this key has been taken out of the altar. The altar was found outside of Daggerford. Plus, there's the servants too. So Lord Istival said if you can, not only was the key taken in this altar, well, there's the key inside. The half-orcs, which there could be half-orcs in this marsh too, and they're probably working with the lizard men, which are both working with the dragons. So if you can find any of Lord Flotian's servants, that would be good as well. And this the messenger also says, well, there was also a maid that escaped Siristival. And he says, oh, really? And yeah, the writer says, yes, she escaped from the orcs. And she said that during her capture that she learned that the orcs were working with Arvik Zoltos. So that's when Siristival said, well, it's good that Arvik is dead, because our assumption was correct. He was working with the orcs. So now you're starting to think, wow, I thought you guys already were able to ascertain that, and you were confident, but now it's like they killed the guy just on assumption. But now, it actually solidifies that he was working with them. But this girl escaped, and she said that she escaped from the north of Daggerford, towards Mount Illifarn. And he says, Mount Illifarn? And he says, yes, my lord, she escaped. So Siristival, he says, well, my friends, I will... Are you okay for rations? Do you guys have enough food to be out into the swamp for a little while? And he starts digging around, and you can hear metal on metal clinging with one another. You can hear glass vials clinking together. And he pulls out some healing potions. And Siristival says, I'll give all of you a healing potion. So I'm going to go ahead and put a healing potion on everyone's character sheets. So now all of you have a potion of healing. He says, this isn't much, but this is pretty much all I have for healing potions. He says, I used to have a lot more of these back in my younger adventuring days. But take these and use them as you need them, and if I have more later on, maybe I can give you more. But until then, I just can't. Thanks, Rob, for the host. All right, so I've added a potion of healing to everybody's character sheet. And as we continue to play, I'll add a healing pendant to everybody's sheet too, to where you can just drag and drop it on your token on the map or in the combat tracker. So what do you guys think, man? You guys have been finding out all kinds of information, huh?
Finding out that it's a lot more in depth than just what they started to believe.
Yeah, what's really crazy is, there was a key inside of this altar. That's what's really crazy. So they didn't even want the altar. They wanted some kind of key. So this key, this air key, was taken from the Flotian estate. Now this Umberly altar, this water altar, was now taken from Crom's Hold. So that could possibly be if they know that there's a key inside. Well, I'm sure they probably do because of the other altar that was found, broken open. Now they have 2 keys. How many keys are there? You know, there's, and it seems like, yeah, what kind of theme does this, what kind of theme, guys, does this speak? For an inspiration, I'll give someone what kind of theme does this kind of have going on with the altars?
Like an elemental or...
Yeah, I'll give both Breeze and I think it was 010, right? I'm still learning voices a little bit. Ander, yeah. So Ander, you can have an inspiration, and Breeze, you can have an inspiration. But yeah, I heard you guys answer at the same time. Yeah, there's like an elemental theme here. So maybe there's something fire related, maybe there's something earth related, maybe there's anything related with the elements. But how many keys are there going to be? That's the whole thing.
And what do they open?
Yeah, that's another good question. That's something that Siristival doesn't even know. He says, but hopefully, if there is some kind of dragon's lair inside of the Lizard Marsh, hopefully you guys can find out, get inside of there, avoid that dragon at all cost, and see if you can find that altar and get it back. But then again, is there going to be retribution to pay by the dragon? That's something that we need to worry about as well. Because I don't think, if it's a dragon as immense as Baroness Crom has described, then we would probably have no chance at all against an ancient black dragon. We just wouldn't have any chance at all. And nor would Daggerford.
And what do the Red Wizards have to do with all this?
That's something that we need to find out. And hopefully, all of you spitting images of me in my younger day, you can find all of this information out. Mind-boggling, huh? A lot going on already right off the bat. Anybody taking notes here?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, we need to start moving forward then. We need to start doing some recon.
Yeah. Well, word's starting to get around that you guys are heading into the march. You know, and so you're getting, you know, the salutes and the, you know, give 'em hells and all this other stuff. As a female, she approaches Siristival and she says, Siristival, and it appears to be it's an armored woman in her 20s. And she comes up to Istimal, and you recognize her as Meechen, Maechen. She was one of the soldiers that basically accompanied you guys from Daggerford. And, you know that she's missing her left ear. Probably an old wound or something like that, perhaps. And this is what Meechen actually looks like. And she's, you know, one of the soldiers. So she comes up to Istival and she says, "So you're one of the you guys are the ones that Istival's sending out into the marsh, right? You guys are the ones. I spoke to some of the other guards and we actually thought that you guys might need a little bit of help. I've actually, since I was a little girl, I used to play in the marsh." And before all the lizard men moved in and stuff. And I've been on several patrols since. And I actually know this place like the back of my hand, the palm of my hand. Can I give you guys some guiding through the marsh? I could act as your guide. I'm good with a sword. I'm your man, I guess, so to speak. But I'm not a man.
My paw on her face.
And she kind of pulls her head back and she lifts your paw and she says, "What are you touching me for?"
Calm down. Take a deep breath.
"Well, I just want to do my duty for Daggerford."
I put my paw on her.
That's understandable. And as far as I can say, I mean, other than the other three, it could help, but we could definitely use a guide.
Oh, I would be more than happy to act as guide for you. Like I said, I know this place like the back of my hand. And Istival, he just says, it's up to all of you if you want to take her. And she just kind of shakes his head and says, well, I'm off. Breakfast is being served, and this old man is hungry. So good luck out there in the marsh, and if you're not back within the next week, I'll take the contingency of guards back to Daggerford, just in case you need to know. But I will leave the 4 horse here for you guys, so you can get back to Daggerford instead of having to walk all the way back.
All right, thank you.
And you vouch for this Meacham?
Absolutely, she's one of our guards here. Meechan's been around for several years now. She joined on since she was a small girl. And then a couple of the guards actually seem like they're a little bit jealous of Meechan because she gets to go out into the marsh and they don't. So Meechan, she'll be joining all of you also.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we should go ahead and eat and then get ready to go ahead and start traversing the marsh.
So I want to get you guys level 2 before you head out into the Lizard Marsh. So let's take a 10-minute break. Let's get our characters leveled up, get a stretch, go grab a bio, get something to drink, get something to snack. You know, this Meechan Givens, she's given you this generous offer to be your guide throughout the Lizard Marsh. So as you guys are heading out to the marsh, you know, you're going down the embankment into the soft swamp. She has this, you know, exasperated, you know, look on her face, and she says, "Oh, I really don't think you guys know how lucky you really are. Siristival is a legend in these parts, and a hero amongst others. His accomplishments are known far and wide, everything that he's done. Some of us would kill for a sliver of the attention that he's been giving you and has been lavishing you the last couple of days." And she even says, "Look, I'll even carry your gear and stand watch at night. I have so much respect for the guy, if that's what it takes to get in with you guys and with Siristival."
Well, for right now, how about we just have you do your part as being our guide?
Oh, I'll do that. I'll do that happily as she starts to trek out through the march, and you guys are traveling at a pretty slow pace. I mean, you guys are, you know, every step you take, you're sinking down to about your kneecap in muck, and it stinks. And you know the rain is gently falling, and you know the wind is bringing in all of this horrible smelling, foul, awful smells from all over the place. So you're trekking through the marsh, right? And Meechan, yeah, she is continuing just to tell you guys, you know, how lucky you guys really are.
So Meechan, what was the last time you had the swamp ass?
How I've had? Oh, ladies don't get swamp ass. What are you talking about? Ladies don't get swamp ass. It's only for all of you brutes. She kind of looks over towards Rain and she says, "I'm sure you don't get swamp ass either. That's an appalling question to ask a lady."
I also don't wear pants.
Oh, well, oh, wow. You don't have any pants? You're just a cat walking along with no armor on or nothing? Or what's going on with that? You got armor on, don't you?
Just like a robe. No, I'm a monk. I don't wear armor.
Okay, you got a robe, but you don't have anything on under that robe, right? So you're going to be like the Flasher.
No, it's a robe, but there is a little slit cut up back from the tail.
So this Lizard Marsh, it is a morass of waterways that basically they go all the way out to the sea where the coast is. You know, all kinds of large trees covered in moss. all kinds of broken pillars of buildings sticking up all over the place. And you know the Lizard Marsh, and this is what Meechin actually tells you guys. Well, the Lizard Marsh is known for two things here. Bloodthirsty insects, as she swats her neck and peels this like quarter-sized mosquito off of her neck, and very dangerous monsters. So welcome to the Lizard Marsh. So it's really not... No, as she kind of takes it by one of the wings and kind of extends her hand towards you. And she drops it into the palm of your hand. Horses, they're not going to be too good out here. That's why you guys are traveling on foot. You know, there's several semi-hard, spongy islands that are kind of sticking up from time to time, but for the most part, you guys are trekking through this mire, like I said, knee-deep. And then there's also a lot of larger streams and like lakes and shit like that, too, so. But you're scouring through the Lizard Marsh. Let's, for the first hour you guys are out here, banging the mosquitoes off your necks and stuff, why don't you guys give me somebody in the tower, give me a D20 roll. We're going to see what kind of encounter, if you even have an encounter, the first hour out here. All right. So as you guys are actually trekking, and off into the distance, you can actually see what appears to be, and you're kind of wiping your eyes. You're thinking, man, am I seeing this right? Because you're still miles away from the coast, and you're am I seeing this right? And you see what appears to be a shipwreck that is out in the middle of this marsh. And it looks like a large overturned galley, like a large ship that would be sitting in the port of Waterdeep or Neverwinter. And it's off some couple hundred yards off as you start to see it through the mist, because as you guys are walking through the Lizard Marsh, there's also this thick mist that is, you know, protruding up about 10 foot or so. So about a couple hundred yards, you see what appears to be a shipwreck. Definitely a huge overturned hull of a galleon.
Is there like quite dispersed on trees, or are there like quite a bit of trees going through this march? Like, yeah,
there's a whole bunch of different trees. There, like I was saying, there's these huge cypress type of trees with a bunch of moss hanging off of them. Nice place to maybe get some shade if the sun was out. Then there's all kinds of dead trees sticking up all over the place too. And then of course there's, you know, broken timber and logs just strewn all over the place.
Ender looks at Meechin and asks, do you see this every day?
No, I have no clue why there's a ship out here. I would like to check it out. Would you like to check it out? I can actually, she pulls out like a journal, and she's scribbling into it. Looks like she might be drawing or scribbling some notes really quick. But then she, you know, she's done writing it. She's kind of looking around her, and then just jotting some stuff down, and then she closes the journal and puts it back into her pack. And she says, I'm just mapping the area. I haven't seen this shipwreck out here. This is new. And in fact, I haven't been out in this part of the swamp in quite a long time. But as you guys start to get a little bit closer, you're starting to find some shattered barrels that are, you know, half sunk into the mud, you know, crates that are half buried into the mud. But it definitely looks like an overturned, like a massive ship. How it got out here, you have no clue.
How dense is the forestry?
Not at all. It's sort of like it's like a marshland with a bunch of reeds sticking up and the occasional tree every couple of miles apart. But a lot of there's more dead trees that are around than living trees.
Well, when we get close to a tree, I'm going to climb up it to get a better view of what's around.
There's a dead tree that's probably about 100 yards from the wreck or so. And as you start to climb up the tree, give me a perception check. And what are you looking for, by the way, too? Anything in particular, or what direction, or?
Did all over, see if anything else is amiss, and creatures.
Okay. Yeah, give me a perception check. Nice roll. So you can see, as you're squinting your eyes towards the shipwreck, you can actually see a name that's inscribed on the ship. That's, like I said, overturned. And you can see it says the Sea Robber. And since you had such a great perception check, I'm going to tell you that you also see what appears to be several lizard men at the shipwreck, skulking around, digging through the muck, trying to find things. Trying to crack open a couple of the barrels and cracking open a couple of the crates. So you see a couple of lizard men there as well. And as for the amount of lizard men, you see 3 of them, as to what you can see. And it looks like there's a huge hole on the bottom of the hull of this galleon called the Sea Robber. And you can see one of the lizard men climbing into a big hole that's on... that's probably how this ship sank.
I look down at my companions. Say, 3 lizards robbing the Sea Robber that has crashed.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and try to stealth closer.
Okay. So you just kind of want to go kind of straight in, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. I got your roll. What is everybody else doing? That was what Breeze was doing.
When I get down from the tree, I'm gonna sneak my ass up too.
Yeah. You're going to sneak your ass in there too?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Go ahead and give me a stealth check also. All right. Zero, what are you doing? Ander, what are you guys doing? The 2 of you. As you start to see Breeze and Rain, they're starting to skulk off towards the shipwreck.
I shake my head and I follow. So I'm going to make a stealth.
Yeah.
Yeah, same as well. I'll make a stealth check.
All right. Go ahead and you guys can give me a couple of checks. Put them into the tower for me. Love that disadvantage with armor. I love it. Such a great feature they put in with 5e. Anything heavy. I love
And
it.
it's nice you can see dropped 18. Ouch.
All right. Oh my gosh. Boy, so you guys are the noisiest adventurers of all time. I mean, seriously. Oh God, you
No,
guys
you know
are
that's not true.
noisy
We've
as
all
hell.
seen worse.
Noisy as hell. I love it. All right, so what happens is this: as you guys start making your way towards the shipwreck, you guys think you're going to get the drop on these lizard men, right? They're looking around through all of the crates. They're looking around through all of the boxes. They're climbing in and out of the hole in the ship. And good old Ander in his heavy armor They can hear him coming. In fact, they can hear all of you coming from a mile away. 010 steps on a like a branch that was just under the muck, and it makes a loud crack, and the lizard men, as you guys are skulking up. Now, I'm going to share a map with you guys. This is just going to be a battle grid type of map. So you guys go ahead and put your tokens anywhere on the map, and Meechin, she's going to stay right here, up front in the middle. And these lizard men, now on the opposite side of this map, on the very far side to the north, that's where the ship is in the muck. All right, and here are the three lizard folk that you see. And one's over here on the north end of the ship. One is over here on the southern end of the ship. This one's climbing inside of the ship. So these are where these are the positions of where the lizard men are. And they actually all see you. They hear you guys coming from a mile away. So these things see you. You see them. It's initiative time. So go ahead and roll initiative, and let's do it. Because these lizard folk, these guys they're starting to take the spiked shields off of their back. They're starting to pull out their javelins, their heavy clubs. You can see that these lizard men, this is what they actually look like, by the way. And these guys are hissing. They've got this bile type of drool that's coming off of their fangs. And it looks like they're charging towards you. All right, so let's go first. Actually, the lizard men actually did quite a nice job with their initiative rolls.
Where do I hit?
Oh, the initiative?
Yeah,
on your no problem at all. Is this your first time using fantasy runs?
Yeah.
No problem. It's piece of cake. On your main page, the main tab there up top, in the very middle, there's INIT. And there's a little dice in the lower left-hand corner of the box, and it'll automatically put it into the combat tracker for you. Pretty cool.
Oh.
So there you go. Oh, man, not the best, but at least you're not the caboose. So, all right. So the first lizard folk, these guys are not going to have any kind of penalty at all for traversing through this muck, through the swamp. They're used to it. You know what I mean? So this thing climb, and like I said, I'm going to put right here, I'm going to put a green line. This is pretty much where the boat is, all right? This is where the boat is. And like I said, this thing is massive. It's like a galleon. That's just part of it. So the lizard man on the left-hand side, he's going to take a javelin that's on his back, and he's going to move up about 20 feet or so. Then he moves up another 10 feet. And he has this javelin, right? And he takes this thing and he hurls it. He hurls it towards Meechin. 10, 20, just at 30 feet. So the javelin's hurled. And these guys have like these traveling packs on that have multiple javelins. So the hit on, wow, the throw literally lands in the shoulder of Meechin, this huge spear, with a big bone, like a spear tip on it. So she's going to take some damage. She takes a total of 7 damage as she staggers back. Oh! So she's, that actually hurts her. So, Ander, you're up now, and you're in the back. So, what say you, Ander?
All right. So I'm going to cast Bless.
Okay. Well, very nice. I like it. So you see on your character sheet, see on the actions tab, well, let's get your actions there. All right. Now see where your, let's see. I don't see, okay, I see it now. On your character sheet, see that little tab there that says effect when you hover over it, effect, attack 1d4, save 1d4?
Yeah.
What you can do is you get to put that on 3 different people. So you can do couple things here. You can drag and drop those onto the combat tracker, or you can drag and drop those onto the characters on the map. And to open up the combat tracker, upper right-hand corner, click on the sword. And very good. I see you got those added. So it looks like you've blessed Meechin, you've blessed Rain, and you've blessed Breeze. Good job. So that's your action. Do you have anything that you want to do with a like a minor action?
No.
Okay. So, Ander, also on your actions tab, you'll notice that you have spell slots. You have 3 bubbles for first level. Seeing that bless is a first level spell, just click one of those bubbles. And then when you click all 3, all of your first level spells will kind of just disappear. And then I'm able to, as a DM, which is an awesome feature, I can tell the combat tracker you guys have had a long rest or whatnot, and it'll automatically put all your spells back up there for you. Pretty amazing. So, nice job. You want to take any movement, go ahead and take any movement too if you want to. So you've got plenty of room behind you. If you want to move, go ahead and move. And we're going to go to the other lizard folk. So this lizard folk, I'm going to give him difficult terrain getting out of the ship. So it's going to take him 10 feet to get out. So it's going to be 10, and then 20, and then 30, and that's all he can move. And he also has a javelin that you can see that he's pulling out of his traveling pack. Now Meechin's turn is up. Meechin is going to go ahead and she's going to move forward, and she's going to attack with her. She has these claws on, like these claws on her fist. So she's going to move up. She's moving at half pace as well. So this is it. She's drawing her claws like Wolverine would be moving towards someone Wolverine was going to attack. So now let's go to Rain. Remember, we got half movement here in the marsh because of you guys are trekking knee deep in this like real thick peat type of crap you're trudging through.
Well, with my feline agility, I can actually move double my speed until the end of my turn using that. So in difficult terrain, I can move my normal pace.
Okay, very good.
It's now 40.
Okay.
Are we locked?
No, you're not locked. You should be able to. You should be able to go.
Let's see if.
Let's give you some good music here.
That should be 60 if I'm doing my math right.
Okay.
And I'm going to put him. And then I'm going to. You know what? This is the first combat. Let's make it a little fun. And do a double claw attack, going straight across the chest. One going from right hand from left side of his chest across. Kind of a swipe across on both sides. Which
All right.
would be
First
my
attack.
My,
yep.
Bonus.
Well, you'll attack with your and then you use your bonus action, and then if you want to spend a key point, you can do flurry of blows and attack for a third time. So it's just up to you what you want to do. So your main hand attack, your main hand slash, you're unarmed with your claws. With bless, is a miss, barely a miss with a 14, because these guys have shields on. All right, your offhand attack. Ooh, you're off to a great start there, Miss Scarlet. That is a critical miss. You want to spin a key?
Aren't we not allowed to use our inspiration on one of those misses?
If you would like to woo me, and in your case, you can woo me later, I'll let you re-roll an attack if you want for an inspiration.
Oh, there's some good apple pie coming your way.
You heard it here first, gentlemen and ladies. So go ahead and re-roll that. Re-roll the offhand attack.
Offhand.
Well, that's a hit with a 27. So you do a total of 7 damage with your claw as you rake across the chest of the lizardman with the drool just kind of snarling at you. Nice. Do you still want to spend that key point or no? Or are you going to save your key?
We'll see how the combat goes.
All right, Breeze, you're up.
All right, I'll go ahead and pull out my short bow and notch an arrow and aim at the lizard folk, or the lizardman that's standing right next to Rain.
You got it. You got it down. You don't even have to move. You're growing roots like Tom Brady, buddy. Like Tony Romo and Tom Brady. Grown roots. All you sports fans out there know what I'm talking about. The granite statues just throwing touchdowns all day. Oh my gosh. That is a crit. Nice shot on Lizard Folk 3. Go ahead and roll that critical damage. It'll do it automatically for you. So, nice shot, man.
And I will utilize my sneak attack.
Absolutely. Yeah, you will, actually. Total of 15. That is massive for a second level character. Good job. The extra 1d6 as the lizardman. You hear him, and you can see a huge gob of saliva just cover Rain as you hit him in the neck, and as he flings to the side, the saliva covers Rain. The lizard man goes down. It is incapacitated. Good job. So take any movement you want, and let's go to 0. 0, 10. What say you, 0, 10?
Each square is 5 feet.
Yes, sir. They are 5. Diagonal and straight, or from up, down, side to side, diagonal. All right. So there you go.
I'm going to take out my crossbow and hit number 2.
All right. So
Or aim.
the way that I do ranged weapons, if there's somebody that's perfect line in front of you, you can do it, no problem. You just get a -2 to your roll. So in the modifier box down in the lower left-hand corner, just put -2 in there, and then let that crossbow bolt fly. And the only time I usually hit another person is when you like roll a 1 or something like that, which doesn't happen too often. But if you next time, if you go to the side or something like that, just make sure that you kind of flank it a little bit. But anyway, your bolt, it zings right past Meechin. Remember, I said Meechin only has 1 ear. So you zing past, the bolt zings past the side of her head that only has 1 ear. That doesn't have the ear. And she just kind of looks back at you because you took her off guard. But you hit for a total of 5 piercing damage from the bolt. Nice shot. Good job, guys, so far.
Yeah.
All right, so
imagine if you had the ear on that side.
She says, watch it back there. I only got 1 ear left, and I need it so I can hear. What was that, Rain?
Oh, I said she didn't hear it whizzed past her face.
Right. So you see a giant lizard scurry out of the hold of the big galleon ship, and it is barreling down right towards you, Rain. So this thing moves, climbs down 5, 10, 15, 20, scurries right next to you, and it bites you. And it snaps at you, and it actually hits. So you're going to take an automatic 1 damage as the lizard just clamps down onto your leg and is just thrashing it back and forth. It's like you're thinking to yourself, did a mosquito just bite me or something? All right, so the last lizardman. Yeah, I know. This thing is just thrashing back and forth, man. Like it's got a hold of you, like it's really doing any damage. So this other lizard man, he's actually gonna move up and he's gonna engage you. He has no penalty in moving. So he moves his 30 feet, and then he chucks his javelin at you. So he throws the javelin. Wow, and he hits you again with a 20. So you're going to take some more piercing damage. You're going to take a total of 4 piercing damage as the spear lodges right into your hip. Ow! Kind of catches you off guard. So we're on round 2 now. Back up towards the top. And the lizardman that's down at Meacham is going to engage Meacham. And as this lizardman is snarling and engaging Meacham, it pulls out a heavy club and swings at Meacham's head. And it says, "I'm going to take your other ear off, human filth." And it swings and hits Meacham. Meacham's been hit a couple times now. She takes 5 more bludgeoning damage from the heavy club. Ander, you're up. These lizardmen have 2 attacks around, but they're only level 2, so I'm only going to give them 1 attack around. All right. You move up, Ander, getting a little bit closer to the combat.
And he's going to wing rain a hill.
Ooh. You're gonna do a. You said you're gonna do a heal?
Yeah, cure wounds.
Yep, you got to touch the target, so you can heal 0-10 beside you. But if you have Healing Word, you don't have to touch the target because that's a ranged heal spell. But if you want to heal Meacham, you're gonna have to go up and grope her and rub on her for a little bit. But if you have Healing Word, which I see you do have Healing Word, you could use Healing Word. The only drawback between Healing Word is it's ranged, so you don't have to get right in there, and it's a 1d4. So instead of the Cure Wounds, which is a 1d8. All right, so you cast Healing Word from where you're at, and you can just see the wounds on Meacham start to cauterize a little bit as your heal gives her 5 life back. So very nice. You guys are doing a good job getting all of the attacks and stuff. Okay, that was to Rain. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Good job on getting all of the correct targets and stuff healed and hit and damage done, and good job. All right, so Meachan's going to go ahead and claw at this thing, and you can see that Meachan actually attacks several times. So it hits. She hits with a 20. She slashes this thing. She does 9 damage to it, and then she slashes again and misses the lizard folk on the second attack. All right, so Rain, you're up now.
All right, I'm gonna try to claw at this lizard to my left that was trying to tickle my legs.
Yeah, it's still trying to. It's just like rattling its head back and forth. That's a hit. 14.
Well, there's that.
Yeah. Lizard goes down. You basically cut it in half. You just slice it in half with the claws on your paw. It goes down, and it lets out a little squeal as it dies. as half of a lizard flies off about 10 foot in one direction.
And I swing around towards Lizard Folk 1.
Yeah, and you can move and attack again if you want to.
Oh, I am.
I like it. Great thing about 5e, being able to move and attack, just as long as you don't go past your max movement. All right, so another nice hit with an 18 versus AC on the Lizardman as he snarls. All kinds of this bile gets all over you again. And you slash him for another 6 damage. Death to the cat. We're going to put you over an open fire and eat you. All right, Breeze, you're up.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and continue. I'm going to go ahead and notch another arrow.
All right. Looks like you're attacking the first lizard folk, taking advantage of sneak attack, which is a good thing. Nice hit with a 19 versus AC, as the arrow lodges right into wherever you